All right, welcome in. This is a channeled Lunar Energy update. And really kind of a special day for me, as I do often introduce myself as Jared Randall. But today, and I didn't know this was happening today, but that's how these things go with Spirit sometimes. Spirit was very clear today, saying that it is time for me to let a bit more of myself out in the open, and so I'm going to attempt to do that, and that is a step for me, for Jared. One small step for Jared, one large step for what I know myself to be in a larger way, and the name of that I hate, don't hate, but the term that gets used as higher self, but that is not it. It's really a wider self, a wider circle of self, of awareness. That is a much better way of thinking about it. But I guess that also sounds like I'm talking about something different. My wider self sounds like I might be talking about my weight, and not intending to bring any sensitivities in about that. But that wider self, that for me, this is where the idea of a true name comes from. And so right now, actually, I introduce you to Andaman, who is, has been with me most of my life in a way that, I've only started to recognize slowly over the past year. So, and yeah, so welcome in Andaman, who, I'm not going to try to attempt to go, this is when Andaman is speaking, this is when Jared is speaking. That's not how it works for me. Although there are times when Andaman is really coming in strongly, and I know those times, and maybe they will be obvious. It's not really important. But I'll have a video at some point talking more about Andaman, what that means to me, and just where that comes from. I did do a channel update over the weekend where I started to touch on that. Did not name Andaman specifically, but yeah. So let's move on, because this is supposed to be a Lunar Energy update. It is Monday. It is Moon Day. And so this is an update I'll be doing. It is in the middle of the day. The moon is not quite up where I am. I believe it comes up about 12:09 p.m. and we're knocking on 11:30 a.m. So one of the things that is coming through clearly today is that I'm supposed to talk a bit about working with the lunar energy. It is not about the moon having to be up. It is not about the moon having to be visible. The moon is always there with us. Just like we live on the surface of this earth, the moon is always there. It is always circling, always reflecting back at us. And yes, there are times where we can work with different aspects of that energy that come out more strongly. Absolutely. In fact, right now, we're in a sort of a diurnal uh, period where the moon is tending to be out during the day. I keep looking up right at it as if it's calling out to me. I just look up and it's right where I look, and it's the middle of the day in a blue sky with a little white sliver that is starting to get bigger. We are at the first quarter phase of the moon as of today at some point, I believe, maybe not quite officially yet. So we are marching on our way from that new moon that happened in Aries a week ago today, the solar eclipse in Aries. Those energies are not leaving anytime soon. Those energies are with us right now. That Aries energy, that hero energy, that self-knowledge energy, that self-actualization energy is right there with us. So, yeah, don't discount those energies still being with us. But today, as of today, the moon is in Cancer, and that's an important sign for me. It's where a couple of my most important placements are in my astrological chart. So, and I mention these things not because it's really important that we learn, if you're going to work with these energies, to learn to move beyond just your sun sign, understand wider aspects of how these energies work for you and in your personality, in your life, in your purpose in life. So I will mention signs, but that doesn't mean that's for a quote-unquote Cancer, right? This reading is not for a quote-unquote Cancer. This reading has Cancer energy coming through it. Cancer is ruled by the moon. So we have exceptional diurnal daytime moon energy coming through right now in the sign of Cancer, which is a water sign. So highly recommend being in water at some point for the next day or so. Take a bath. Even just when you're taking your shower, if you take a shower, like just be in that. Understand that water is energy, right? It's energy in a fluid form, and it's in touch with these energies as well. So there's much more that can be said there. But yeah, so being directed to move it along, and we're going to pull some witch runes today. This is how I work with the lunar energy. I typically pull about 3 runes, maybe more if more come out. And we'll pull some tarot cards, specifically having to do with this lunar week, so to speak. And let's just see what comes out here. Last week, we had energies that were very much about crossroads, clearing the way, and opening up to new connections. And by yesterday, Sunday, when things become bright and clear in the past, when we look back and we can see, because the light is there, on what has already happened, it was very clear to me, at least, that, yeah, that's what happened. Clearing out other relationships, connections, and things coming in. And that was good to see. So I have 3 runes that want to come out here. The top rune. And so where the moon is right now, according to what I follow, again, we've gone through the new moon, so the moon is closed down, and it is now, coming back in, coming back up, and into its fullness again. It is currently in a sort of death energy, right? A death and rebirth energy. That's the rebirth part of it is coming. And for how I track it, in thirds of the lunar month, we're in that energy now. And so we have star energy. And very connected to Pisces energy, so a lot of and Saturn energy, Neptune energy. Those are planets in Pisces right now. Also Mars energy. Mars is just coming in to Pisces. So there's a lot of activity there. So you may want to pay attention to that. And for me, when I'm bringing in star energy, this is ancestral connection in a wider way. Again, so here we go. And Andaman says, "Let's speak." Andaman says, "Let's speak." Yeah, Andaman is not just this human being living this human life. Andaman brings in a much wider awareness of energies that have led up to this human life and encompass it and also move beyond it. There are many pasts coming into this nodal present moment, many different pasts, that different versions of the past that can lead into this moment and still make this moment happen, and many futures coming down the road that this moment can lead into. And so this star energy is about possibility. It's about seeing the star on the horizon, the glimmer of something, and so on. In the rebirth energy, well, Andaman is saying hi. This is my Andaman rune. I hadn't even thought about this as a possibility, and it's absolutely crazy. This is also a rune that means get out into the woods for me personally. So I invite you this week at some point to get out into the woods, preferably somewhere where there's also water. Commune with the unbuilt environment and get in touch with the spirit of all that's living, and let it talk to you. And Andaman is saying blessings to anyone who follows this. And listen, just listen. If you do this, just listen. The point is to listen, and you'll see. And this is in rebirth energy, so there is an energy of rebirth coming in that is, very, very powerful. All right. And very connected to where the moon is right now in Cancer. So, yeah. And then, okay. The last rune, which is going to fall into the emphasis of life. And so, life, death, rebirth. Death energy is a passing away, but also a coming back around. As it moves into rebirth, something comes back. Soul is recycled. Spirit is recycled. Spirit is not recycled. Spirit is just everywhere. Soul, identity, is recycled, comes back around again. That's what these little identities are that we name, by our earthly names. That's what that is. And you can go after a time of exploring what all makes that up. And you can sift and choose from all that identity find out what's there in a wider way, a deeper way. What you can think of as a higher way when we think of the star energy, when we think of ancestry going back before the sun even existed. We know this from our astronomy, that there is a whole history of movement of material and energy that eventually leads up into our sun. All that energy is still here with us in the form of matter. And when our sun shines on us, that energy connects us all the way back to whatever beginning you want to imagine. And I mean, for me, beginnings go way, way back. Okay, it's an understanding that I have. Go way, way back. There are galactic beginnings that any of us can tap into. And that's what's coming out here. Again, that wider circle. This isn't just about you thinking about your ancestors here on Earth, or me doing that. This is about us thinking about ancestry in a much wider, older, ancient way. And Spirit was reminding me this morning, and Andaman has been chattering all day so far. And it's pretty much demanding that I talk about when we look back, we can see much, much more. It takes time. That's what I'm hearing. It takes time. It's taken time for me. It will take time for anyone. But you can uncover old energies that lie down at the root of your soul. But the root of your soul is inverted. It goes out into the stars. That has come in now, and you're rooted in this earth. But there's also an inversion of that goes back out into your star ancestry. And the specific thing that I was supposed to get to here is that, I was having conversations with a very spiritual person who's important to me over the past months, especially probably 6-8 months ago to maybe a year ago. And a couple of times I think I mentioned to this person that there are only just so many people who are this old on the earth. And at the time, that was true, and it's still true. There are only so many people who are so old. But what I've been hearing today is that number has gone up 100-fold, maybe 1,000-fold since I said that. There are star children coming in left and right, and this effort right here, this channel, this is a spot for you. If that's you, if you're here and this is speaking to you in some crazy way as I chatter, and I haven't even talked about the rune here. I'll get to that. The point is how old you are, how ancient you are, how old a soul you are, is about you recognizing your ancientness. That's all it is. We're all that ancient. We just haven't all recognized it. And so this is an important corrective for me too, that a couple of things. Right now we may be recognizing things in ourselves, and we might be recognizing things in others that are ancient. Ancient beyond reckoning, guys. We're not talking about anything in the scope of Earth history or of the history of our sun. We're talking further back. That energy is here with us, and it wants to empower us, and it's just about recognizing it. Okay, and then I'm supposed to get back to this rune here. Again, this rune, this is the rune of the feminine energy. Okay, it's an energy of receptivity, yes. It's an energy of a different kind of wisdom, right? A wisdom that has a heart knowing, okay? It's heart focused, it's intuitive, it's very much in its feelings. This is not to say that there's no rationality to it, okay? That is not what we're saying. And this energy is here to support, and it is healing right now. It's in the place of life in this lunar cycle. So it is talking about the healing of the feminine energy, and there's much to say here. There is much to say, more than can be said just in this video, but what is coming in is that what we think is the healing of the feminine energy, oftentimes what we think of that is not what it is. We have gotten confused. We have done too much to equate the masculine with a quote-unquote man and the feminine with a quote-unquote woman. And that is not what we're talking about. In much that is being healed is in the man, quote-unquote, but also in the woman, quote-unquote. And these things are not cut and dry. This healing is about relationality between the two, about it coming back together between the two. And that is mostly it for now. And okay, so the next thing is that this is internal, though. What we're focusing on here is at the individual level. For these two, for the masculine and the feminine to come together in a healed way, requires that first happens within individuals. And so this is about working with that energy this week. And so specifically, working with the star energy, working with your deeper, wider, higher, if that resonates with you, background of your person, your soul, your identity, and being open to anything that comes in. You might be then out in the woods and you might hear something. You might see something that is going to give you clues. Maybe you see a particular animal, a particular kind of bird, or just a particular moment happens and that opens something for you. Something wider in your own soul identity. And so there's a receptivity to this. And this receptivity is very connected here to the Scorpio energy, which is an energy of death and rebirth. So there's something coming back out here. There's something being dredged up. There's something being dredged up. And if you're watching this today, it's very connected. It's not on purpose or not on accident. Okay, it's not an accident. Um, this message was meant to find you today, not because somebody else meant for you to find it, because you meant for you to find it. Okay, we're going to add another wrinkle here and pull a couple of cards. We are going to just let the energies come in and guide us into some more awareness here of what these energies are and how we're to work with them, points of emphasis. I do have my eyes closed right now, and I'm just tuning in. And here it goes. A week ago, I don't know how much you can see it, a week ago, it was almost the mirror of this. So from a body-soul connection, you probably can't see that. Now we have a mind-body connection pointed in that direction of soul. There's something here about becoming conscious again. This is reinforcing it, and it's right at the center of body, mind, and soul coming together here. There's an integration of self happening right now. If you're watching this, that is the energy that may be coming through right now for you in your life. I invite you to look into the lunar energies this week. Find the moon when you're outside. Figure out when it's there. Little things that you can do. I have quite an elaborate setup here. You don't need that, but some kind of an altar dedicated to lunar energy can be helpful here. Tracking where the moon is, what sign it's in, and getting in touch with what those signs mean. We all have all the signs. We all work with all these energies. There are points of emphasis, but this is about, again, the lunar energy is reflecting back at you what you are in the diurnal moon. Diurnal moon is very much reflecting you back at you. Okay, so it's during the daytime, it's conscious, and it's out in the open. So we're being invited to do that, to sit in that reflection. All right, I've already shuffled a bit these cards. This is a lunar tarot deck. It is basically a standard tarot deck, but it's just the general energy it's going to look for here. We have a 7 of Pentacles and a Queen of Cups. 7 is typically about sorting, about negotiation, about various aspects coming together in some then higher step or higher form coming into being. On this card we have something like the sun almost cracked open like an egg. And a pentacle in there. There's a hidden you. There's a hidden me. And it wants to be known. It wants to come out in the world. It wants to be grounded into place, into your life. And then along with that, the Queen of Cups energy. This is water with water. Water of water. This is very lunar energy. This is energy of mystery. This is energy of, pulling out of the waters what is hidden there, tasting it, seeing what's there, and accepting it, accepting that cup, accepting it. All right, I'm going to pull one card probably. that was the, again, confirmation of the energy that we're in right now. So you may already know of your higher or wider self. You might be coming to know. This might be a brand new idea for you. It might be something you're coming to. This might be the first time you've ever thought about it. Don't know. But that energy is there, and it's inviting you to look at it, to think about it. Alright, I've got to tune into these cards here. Yeah, Andaman's saying just trust, trust. Trust in the waters. Sometimes we're afraid of the waters. We think we're going to drown. Trust in the waters. The waters will hold you up. Your soul is light. It will float. Even if you go down into the depths, your soul will float back up. So this could also be a time of being concerned about your identity. Who am I? What am I doing here? What's going on with this shifting, this changing that's happening for me? And trust. Just trust. All right. Cards are saying they're ready. They're saying to do this. And the Two of Wands. This is initiation. Everything about today is saying that a huge initiation is happening. This isn't just as individuals. I know this reading has been about individuality. But everything here is saying this is happening on a mass scale. There are many of us going through initiations. It may be very tough right now. Money may be tough right now. Something in your life may be tough right now. You might just be weary. You might actually be not at that. You might be at some kind of a high point. It doesn't really matter. Maybe if you are at a high point, that might be strange for you. That might be out of the ordinary. That might be harder to deal with because you're not used to it. Whatever it is, we're going through an initiation. Two of Wands, this is the card of initiation for me. And I've literally done this not quite a year ago. Passed between the two trees. The two wands. See, trees are wands because they're full of spirit. And spirit is fire. The wand's energy is the fire energy. It is what animates everything. This is about passing over a threshold. Coming to that new, that different, that other realization of self. And not looking back. Right? Not looking back. Moving forward with it. All right. It's time to look at the bottom of the deck. Spirit, what else for us today? Yarano Shinururi. Harania Kianuri Shtermaite Aikitari Shtor. Shainori Kanoi Oranika Jai. Shai. Yamuni Oruni. Ayashaki. Hari. That is a blessing to you. That is a heart blessing to you right now. The Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups says, I am here with you. But it is no one outside of you that is here with you. It is you with you. This is you. This is me. Knowing that we are always there with us, for us. There's a higher awareness of self, a wider awareness of self, a deeper awareness of self coming through right now. That is the message. Receive this cup. Love it. Drink of it. It's never going to run out. It's always going to be there for you. It's always going to be here for you. It's not dependent on anyone else in your life. It's not dependent on you having enough money or a lot of money or whatever it is you feel you need. This is you always having what you need, because what you need is you. That's it. So, I hope this has helped. Andaman will be around now more openly. He says, be sure of that. He says, for any who have felt that they needed support, just on one hand, what everything we just said is true. That Ace of Cups, what you need is you, and you have you. But on the other hand, we all do need each other. There's a balance here. There's always a pair of opposites that must be transcended. That's what initiation is. That's what Two of Wands is. There's some polarity in your life that you are transgressing. That's exactly it. You are transgressing that. You're supposed to come down on one or the other, but you are going in between. You are going in between. That's what this initiation is. You're going in between the two poles and transcending it. It may just be at the level of Earth identity and then this wider starlight identity, this ancient identity. How do these two can seem at odds? But no, it's one and the same. It's both you. It's you. The Ace of Cups. It's you. And what came after that? Ten of Pentacles. Just grounding into place. Moth energy here. I have a bee at my door, buzzing away, putting in energy. And the next card down, the moon. Let it come in. Let it come in. Let it come in. Let it be in you. Let it dwell with you. Don't shove it away. A deeper awareness of all that you are wants to come and take root in you. You are the soil of that. You are the earth of that. That is the crazy important great thing about living a life here on Earth. Your very body is grounding in something, is grounding in energies. That's why it's so powerful to get in touch with our ancestors, because their lives grounded certain things in, and grounded certain things into our lives. And some of that we do need to reject. Do not get me wrong. That is a lot of what's going on with the healing work, right? But also what I've been hearing is it's time to turn a corner. And also to recover some things that were good there. Remember that, I'm going to give a personal story here. Remember that grandmother who once pulled your hair and lifted you off the floor by your very hair because you were talking at a moment when she didn't want to have to talk over you, and that was about all it was. And how bad that felt. Remember also that that grandmother never gave up on you. She never gave up on you. That's me reclaiming something in my ancestry. I can reclaim the good, acknowledging what wasn't so great. Alright. So, there's a lot of energy right now. We have ticked upward on the spiral. That's what the solar eclipse was marking. An uptick on the spiral. Literally, go look up how the sun and our solar system and therefore the Earth actually move through the galaxy. It's a crazy spiral. And the whole thing is just spiraling and moving in wider ways than that. It's all moving. We've ticked up in an energy scale. Alright, the scale of the energy has ticked up. I hate it when people use this term online because they think they sound smart when they use it, and they just throw it around. This term, order of magnitude, popularized by one Elon Musk, I would say, and a lot of folks who want to sound like him and go, oh, I'm just going to throw those words in there and like it means something. But no, here it means something. The whole scale has gone upward. And then it can feel like we're starting over down at the bottom, but we're actually doing way more. Way more. Alright. Hearing this is getting long, and it's time to close it down. And, yeah. If you need support, if you're going through this kind of newness, this kind of change, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Something really important that has been coming through is on a healing journey, you should not have to pay for your healing. I will do what I can do for as many people as I can do it for. Reach out to me if you need help. There are going to be opportunities for those of you who have been going through a healing journey. Maybe the transition you're going through right now, the initiation is into starting to help others and support others. There's going to be opportunity for that as well. Please do look me up on Instagram. There'll be a link on the video. It should be before and after the video on the bumpers of this video. And don't be shy. Don't let a lack of fun stop you. Don't let a worry about what you're going through or, the possibility of someone else being able to understand what you're going through. Don't let that stop you. All right? And so, with much love and peace, sending it out to you right now, along with all the light that you can stand.